Sorry, that's just anti-trans.
Essence of thought, there we go. Listen, this is a child logic bit that I'm ripping off, but I don't care. There's a word for this. It's called optimism. Anyway.
When is a victory not a victory? Well, when gender-critical fascists are lying to falsify
All the professors are woke, so the experts are woke. Yeah, it kind of seems to be going that way, unfortunately.
an atmosphere of strength on their part.
Dr. Jamie. It looks better than Dr. It looks like it's trying to be younger than Dr. Jamie. Oh, hey Shinigami Wolf, how you doing?
Indeed, this is a very common practice among the larger gender-critical crowd, and today's story regarding the BMA's upcoming review of the
Essence sounds really off on this one. Is Ethel okay? Oh, I'm sorry, Ethel Thurston. How are you doing? I should be worrying about your health. I don't know. Low HP voice. Chad Logic. Yeah. Chad Logic has covered this person. To be honest, so many commentary people have commented on this person because they're just so unhinged. Like all that shit with Rachel Oates. She was like going after this other creator called Rachel Oates for like years and years, and I still don't even understand what started it. It's like at that point, that Vangelina Skov person that they decided plagiarized them, which I don't think there was any evidence for. They talked about the same fucking topic, you know. Oh, hi, Glitchy Charizard. How are you doing?
The cast review is no different. But before we discuss that, a quick content warning for the following.
Yep, Ethel Thurston, she, her, they, them.
Transmisia, psychological torture, suicide, child death, and genocide. If our work has helped
Genocide. Here we go. We're getting the conspiracy theories out.
you, please consider supporting us via Patreon so that we can keep the channel running. You can also help us by liking, commenting, and sharing our work on social media. Hi there, my name is Ethel Thurston, she, her, they, them, and we're here to talk about the ways in which gender-critical fascists
Ethel does not sound good. Are they doing okay? They don't have that energy, that joy that I expect from a Essence of Thought video. It's like, what's going on? Yeah, Rachel Oates, that's the name of a person that this person bullied for years and years.
such as Hannah Barnes, writer for The New Statesman, have taken to misportraying a recent decision made by the British Medical Association regarding the cast review. To give a quick summary, the cast review is an ideological pamphlet masquerading as
Bullshit.
a medical report, and shows
This person does not have a clue what they're talking about. And here's Wes Streeting, by the way.
in our video exposing the dangers of anti-trans fascism regarding the cast review and Labour's downfall. The cast
They've never been okay. True. I mean, they say things like anti-trans fascism, so hey.
review suffered numerous flaws, most notably in its fundamental ignorance of research methodology and endocrinology. Not only
Yeah, Essence doesn't have anyone to bully right now. I mean, I guess gender criticals as a whole or something. I don't know. I did look this up. As far as I know, they were critical of the cast review, and they're taking a neutral stance now. I think they're still going to like do their own evaluation of it, but they're not taking as hardline a stance against it. I think that's the case. But hey, Ethel first and she, her, they, them is here to educate me. What am I so smug about? I'm smug about many things, to be honest.
is Dr. Hilary Cass not an expert in trans healthcare and child endocrinology, but her ignorance of the subject is glaringly obvious. Perhaps the best
When these people say fascist, it just means anyone they dislike, I think. We don't get a better definition, so that's what I'm assuming.
example of this can be seen in her demanding experiments be carried out on puberty blockers for trans children, experiments which were found to be impossible to conduct on puberty blockers for cis children.
It was demanding? Oh, hi, Lorixel. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I've just been insulted a lot in my life. I don't know. I hope you're doing well.
From precocious or early onset puberty, more than 20 years ago. That's how bad she is, professionally speaking.
Ooh, number one. What's number one? References. Essence of Thought. This is your own video. Your own video. Okay, great. Brilliant. Great start.
She also lied about the system of review she used. Cass claimed that she was using grade. However, her actions in dismissing all mid and low quality evidence is at
Was it? It was, the moderate and high level ones were kept, wasn't it?
complete odds with said system, with the guidelines themselves clearly stating that, quote,
Grammarly's proactive, automatic writing suggestions are great, but sometimes you just want to tell Grammarly how to help.
I can be the first trans woman bullied by EOT. I'm still a male, and my admittedly unsupported hypothesis about EOT is that they are a massive misogynist. So maybe I'm still too male for them. I don't know, but maybe, who knows? Right, have we got more? This is not actually their own video, so that's at least something. Yeah, they do that. I mean, what are we doing? Talking about it was the Newcastle Ottawa scale they were using? Yeah, it was low and very low that she's not even getting that right. They're not even getting that right. What the fuck? Like, I've done a decent amount of like research into this. They kept the high and moderate ones and got rid of the low and very low ones. I'm sure that's the case. Like, she says that it's even the medium ones. Emphasis added by me. She straight up ignored what high quality evidence she did find. That's not even true. Well-being before treatment. Why is she obliged to keep any of that shit in if she doesn't think it's good enough? You know what I mean? This isn't even linked. How nice. Amazing references, Ethel.
Although higher quality evidence is more likely to be associated with strong recommendations than lower quality evidence, a particular level of quality does not imply a particular strength of recommendation. Sometimes low or very low quality evidence can lead to strong recommendation.
Do we know whether that might have been the case here? We don't, I'm presuming. The more buzzwords are thrown in to disparage someone, the harder time I've given any points they have grievance. Yeah, of course, yeah. If these people just fucking talked normally, it would actually help them. But my guess is that they're trying to appeal to their own crowd. I don't think they're trying to appeal to like the outside, because they don't want to integrate. They want fucking queer liberation, whatever that means. I'm not reading the whole fucking script. When is a victory not a victory? Well, when gender-critical fascists are lying to falsify an atmosphere of strength on their part. There you go, I did one line.
End quote. She also straight up ignored what high quality evidence she
Study lives matter. Sorry, I probably went too far with that one. I'm so sorry.
did find, such as one study that concluded, quote, transgender adolescents show poorer psychological well-being before treatment, but show similar or better psychological functioning compared with cisgender peers from the general population after the start of specialized transgender care involving puberty suppression. End quote. Emphasis added by me.
They actually said, emphasis added by me. What is going on?
This was part of another review that, along with said high
I
quality
don't even know what point they're making there. It's a thing they found low quality. Okay. Does it matter what the conclusion is when they found it low quality?
study found 26 studies of moderate and thus acceptable quality, all of which, again, were completely ignored by Hilary Cass
Is that true?
without explanation. Now, since it's publishing, we
I don't think that's true, and we've done number one again. I already looked at that shit. Like,
actually have a possible
oh wait,
reason
no, number one was their own video. Fair enough, whatever.
for this. As noted by two of her former colleagues, quote, Dr. Cass expressed her dismay and shock at the practice of medical transition to one of us before she started this review.
Oh, so she must be incredibly biased. Okay. I don't know. Do I even need to watch this? This is going to be like really stupid. Like, I'm trying to move on from the fucking Cass review for a bit because I just had a debate on it. And like, this isn't a Cass review channel. I'm talking about loads of different things. But like, I don't know. I feel obliged to defend it because people say so much dumb shit about it. You know what I mean?
And recommended strongly that we read the gender-critical polemic Irreversible Damage on the subject. She is described on the Cass Review website as an expert who came in with no fixed views,
You can still be dismayed at some aspects of medical transition whilst not really having a fixed view. Like, what?
We will leave the
Who will we cast? Yeah, exactly. Who will we cast? Terrible human being.
reader to draw their own conclusions. End quote. Emphasis added
Yeah, they don't like this kind of thing. They don't like this kind of thing. Draw their own conclusion. No, they have to draw my conclusion.
by me. Irreversible
What does this mean? Emphasis added by me. I'm sorry I'm getting so triggered on this nothing point, but like, that looks like a direction. You're gonna say that every time? I guess not. Why am I still calling this dumb bitch a she? I have no idea. Not even in a cartoon to the Ararak. True. Well, I mean, I don't know. Being trans isn't about passing, so...
damage is an anti-trans propaganda piece that presents
Oh, someone showed I'm pretty sure someone showed themselves playing guitar and their cock was visible. You might as well just fucking post it if you want. It's meant to be it's an over 18 Discord anyway, so...
all trans men as weak-minded girls who have been duped into believing that they are trans. This is part of a fascist ideology that views said girls as a sexual resource that must be guarded from a Jewish cabal that's supposedly carrying out said indoctrination in an effort to reduce white fertility. That is the ideological nature of the piece Hilary Cass was caught promoting.
What? Hang on. Did she source anything? Oh, conveniently not this time.
That is the ideological nature of the piece Hilary Cass was caught promoting.
These people see politics and ideology in all sorts of places where it's not, and somehow fail to see their own. I don't know. I can't trust any of this either way.
So she was already set against the trans community before she was...
That's not being set against the trans community. That might be being set against, like, the shit that they put you through. The trans community. We just change track whenever it suits us. We were talking about gender transition. Suddenly it's the trans community. God, it's so dodgy. I don't know who fucking watches this. Like, October 12th, it's only got 2237 views. I guess that's a small mercy. She should be stripped of her doctor title like Andrew Wakefield. Is she like Andrew Wakefield? I don't know. I wish the public scientific literacy was better. You watch Essence of Thought. What the fuck? What right do you have saying that? This is what's annoying about some trans brush off without engaging it. It's the disingenuity I can't stand. I feel the same way. We don't have to lie. If these TERFs and transphobes are such terrible people, we shouldn't have to lie about them. And if we do have to lie about them, they're probably not as bad as we're making out. I hate the lying. Our media does it. Loads of our YouTube channels do it. Some of our biggest ones, like Jammy Dodger, are completely full of shit. And there's no shortage of wannabes that just do the exact same thing, or just read an Aaron in the Morning article and agree with everything and then expand to be even crazier than what fucking Aaron in the Morning is. It's like, it's pretty fucked, honestly.
She was selected for her position. This needs to be kept in mind, especially in light of the fact that a Freedom of Information request revealed that only one person was ever considered for the post, that being Hilary Cass.
Oh no, it must be a conspiracy then.
This, by the way, tracks with a post made to Twitter.
Don't forget, she's a red name, so she's bad. I might skip forward because this is going to take way too long otherwise. Cast review bad. That's the whole point of this bit. So, taken us almost 8 minutes to say cast review bad. There we go. Am I a red name? Almost definitely. I don't know for sure. Maybe I should get it just to see if I'm as cool as I think I am. I wear it with pride though. Yeah, this was their press release from July, and I'm pretty sure they've since changed their stance. I guess this video is like, well, they're saying that now they like the cast review and actually they don't, which they're saying a more fucking mild version, I guess. I'll see you later, kitty cat.
The report's recommendations. There have been ongoing discussions within the BMA about the Cass review since it was published. Before that, the BMA attended meetings with Dr. Cass when the review was being written. These, together with the Council's wishes, have helped to shape what will be a detailed, evidence-led piece of work. End quote. The announcement was met with praise, both by the UK trans community.
Yes, because we're fucking sheep. and we don't understand that something not praising us to heaven and back isn't necessarily a bad thing for us.
And the international medical community.
The international medical community. Ooh. Who's that going to be? WPATH. Is it the WHO? Maybe. I think they tend to agree with everything woke people say. I'm not sure. One of them. But yeah, they love this line. It's an appeal to authority that, if you actually think about it and know anything about someone like WPATH, is worthless and meaningless.
One group that wasn't happy, however, were gender-critical fascists. Which brings us to the main topic of today's video, and that is a Reddit post made to the Doctors.
I shouldn't keep wincing at that shit, but like, Jesus Christ, I'm so glad I didn't get sucked into this shit. I'm so glad that despite maintaining, you know, relatively still being like a liberal and shit, that I'm not on board with this shit. Fuck me. I feel like I could have slipped down this fucking rabbit hole so easily. And I don't know. I'm glad I didn't, fucking hell. That's all I can say.
UK subreddit, in which someone shared Hannah Barnes' article titled "The BMA Turns Away from Rejecting the Cass Report," the response to which has been pretty harrowing. One user stated,
Harrowing.
"Rejecting the Cass Report," the response to which has been pretty harrowing.
Listen, I don't like making fun of the way people talk. I talk like a fucking retard most of the time. But at the same time, this person is dreadful.
One user stated that it was the, quote, "right decision. The Cass report has fuck all to do with doctors' pay or working conditions and is therefore not relevant. Time to spend some time in..."
Yeah, isn't the BMA like, it's just a union? Why are they getting involved in these matters? I still might be a TRA, don't burn that bridge. Oh, I have burnt the fuck out of that bridge, trust me. I don't think, listen, I haven't talked a huge amount about like my experiences leading up to this because it doesn't really matter, and I can't really substantiate a whole lot of stuff. But like this has been going on for a lot longer than people realize. Let's put it that way.
"and energy on more important things," end quote, to which someone replied with, quote, "absolutely, would have been bizarre to spend members' fees on this," end quote. Another
Yes, it would have been cooked as fuck.
comment stated that it was a, quote, "good decision. The BMA should be neutral on everything that isn't to do with pay and conditions. If people want to have their own pet projects, great, but don't use my union."
I'm centre left, and to be honest, I was kind of on the wacky trans side for a few years. I was kind of the same, but I was never like both feet in. Like, I knew a fair amount of trans people locally, and so much of the stuff that they came out saying, I just couldn't get behind. I'm like, I just don't think any of this is true. I think that you're talking complete shit. And I let this kind of shit slide for like ages. But whenever I said anything that people didn't like, it was like the fucking crime of the century for at least one person that I knew every time. Jonathan Ross diction with Jeremy Clarkson cadence. Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about. Holy shit. It was never this bad when you started 14 years ago. Yeah, it was starting to get bad for me when it was starting to get bad when I started around 2015. But it's like gone fucking insane now. Like the kids stuff, I never thought we were ever gonna like push this kind of shit. Like obviously I'm not gonna be down with like transing kids and stuff like that. I don't know how people expect that I would be. It's insane.
"for them," end quote, to which someone else replied with, quote, "agreed, the Cass report isn't a union issue. If people have a problem with the Cass review, then they should look to see what the relevant royal colleges are saying about the topic. BMA should stay out of it," end quote. Another comment added that, quote, "excellent news. The BMA should not be used for personal political grievances of certain members,"
Based.
end quote. And another stated, quote,
Why does she say quote every time? I make it sound as if I was advocating for eugenics. I don't know. I never went that far, unless you're talking to someone else.
"correct. I was not consulted on this, therefore this view did not represent all the members' views. I couldn't believe it when I saw it," end quote.
Does not represent all the members' views. Like, it's so annoying. Like, this is how I feel all the time with like trans shit. Like, I don't know, we're calling everyone queer now. I don't remember being okay with that. I think a lot of gay people feel the same way.
Quote, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, there's some smart people, it turns out, right?
Point is, numerous people, including those professing to be medical professionals and members of the British Medical Association, have been led to believe that the BMA has stopped its review of the CAS review and its implementation. Only thing is, that's not what happened. A fact that simply reading beyond the headline would have told them, with the subheading admitting that, quote,
Yep, so this is exactly what I thought. It's still a good thing, it's still progress. Clearly this is not an obviously solved issue, it's a very divisive issue, and the idea that this union should be trying to turn this thing into a monolith is like kind of fucked, honestly. And they voted now. They hadn't voted before. Not very, it wasn't very, like, democratic. Not that someone like Essence of Thought gives a fuck about, like, democracy, I'm sure, but it started in 2003, it was a liberal, left the left in 2015 when they started pushing pronoun stuff. Demanding people change their lives was never the goal. Yeah, of course, yeah. I don't want anyone to feel they have to talk a certain way around me. I don't even care if people call me a he anymore, quite frankly. I mean, I'm a male, like, I don't know. Politically homeless, but get called a shill or right-wing or conservative plant all the time. I'm not surprised. You get called like a pick-me, I get that. I get called right-wing a lot. I'm actually fairly liberal. I'm like at most a centrist. And yeah, I don't know. It's interesting how my identity in terms of what I believe in stuff doesn't matter 1 inch, but to not agree with someone's identity is like sacrilege. It's interesting. It's interesting.
The doctors' union has voted to retain a neutral position on the issue, end quote. Except this was always the case, as seen
Well, they've kind of backed down there, surely.
in the BMA article shown earlier.
The later half of the latest Jessie Gender video made you woke. The crying might have gotten... Does she cry in like every single video? I can't be bothered to find out because I just don't like Jessie Gender. I think she's awful. Like, she cries so much. It feels like a manipulation tactic to me. Maybe I'm overly paranoid. Maybe I'm too defensive. I don't know, but that's how I feel. Oh, it's muted. It was a sympathy mute, I guess.
It's always the case.
Are you sure you want to listen to this? A lot of bullshit. This person's quite annoying. Yes, I do, unfortunately.
As seen in the BMA article shown earlier. Indeed, reading through the article, I couldn't find anything of substance that could accurately be described as the BMA backing down or turning away. All I could find was them
Undertake an evaluation. Members voted in favour. Publicly critique the CAS review. That's not being neutral. It does sound like they've changed their stance, surely. I'm reading the fucking thing too. You can't say I'm not because it's right here. That's the whole point of this channel. So many people I knew, when I talk about stuff that I see, it's like, well, I don't see any of this. And it's like, well, now you're going to have to because you've got me recorded right in front of it watching it. That's fucking as much proof as I can give anyone. Anyway, association publicly critique the CAS review. Voice concern about weaknesses in method. This doesn't sound very neutral. Like, no offense. The word neutral in here at all? Ask and finish. Philip Banfield. For that, the BMA attended meetings with CAS whilst it was being written. Calling for a pause to the implementation of the CAS review. Are they still doing that? Support for undertaking its evaluation. What was the one I was looking at? BMA stance on CAS review has damaged its reputation. I'm not surprised. Nearly 900 doctors have signed a letter urging the BMA to abandon its plan to publicly critique. Jesus fucking Christ. It's bizarre. What was the one that I was looking at? Oh, this is the same. Oh, okay. Undertaking its evaluation from a position of neutrality. Okay. So this is, I guess, they're kind of clarifying Healthcare system that's too long, failed transgender patients. Failed a lot of people, to be honest, but sure. I don't know. I have mental health issues that make it basically impossible to work, that I can't even get diagnosed for because they're that confusing to people, apparently. But sure, let's cry about trans people. This doesn't say anywhere that it's neutral. This person is fucking lying. And then this one will retain a neutral position. Well, yeah. A further vote for the cancel earlier this week will approach its work neutrally. DMA is not aiming to replicate. It does feel to me like they've stepped back a bit. So, yeah, people celebrating, oh, we're not backing it anymore. Yeah, that's not true. But what this person is saying is not true either. So, hey.
Merely reaffirming their commitment to carry out an empirically grounded review of the CAS review. Okay, well, if the headline isn't accurate, why run it? The simple answer is manufacturing consent. Gender-critical fascism, as with all fascism, is reliant on creating an atmosphere of power in order to operate unchallenged, and headlines like these act as a means to achieve that. Gender-critical fascists are aware that most people won't apply a critical lens to said headline, keeping in mind that it's the first and often only thing many people will read when they see the link being shared in places such as Reddit. Therefore, said headlines can be used to create a...
That's weird, because I read 2 articles, including the one that this person linked, and I was able to come away with a fairly normal perspective on it, I think. I don't know.
False narrative. By publishing these sorts of headlines, it can give the impression that gender-critical fascists are in control, that institutions, such as the British Medical Association, can't help but give weight to...
Does this not feel like very over-intellectualized? Like, yeah, all papers, like all the papers in the UK, yeah, their headlines are extremely exaggeratory sometimes, and they are very leading sometimes. This isn't just a thing for, like, gender-critical fascism. It's a fucking media thing in general. Like, what does any of this have to do with what the... like, I don't know, just finish the video already.
To them, giving the false impression that said gender-critical fascist position is just that solid. And we've seen this sort of thing before. In 2022, Marie-Louise Volbrecht of Germany replied to a Twitter thread in which a poster tried to deny the facts that trans people were victims of the Holocaust, with Volbrecht stating, quote, "I hate this narrative.
Oh, why are we doing this now?
It mocks the true victims of the Nazi crimes," end quote. This led both individuals and groups, such as the German Society for Trans Identity and Intersexuality, to start tweeting the hashtag married and...
Intersexuality? Wouldn't it be intersexism? Intersexuality? What am I even... Denial of Nazi crimes. Boring. Oh, we've already heard about this, I think. 16 children. Essence of thought again. Essence of thought. Second whistleblower confirms government murder. I've watched at least one of these videos, and it's called bunk. It's called bullshit. It's called this person lies out their ass and likes bullying women when they're not lying about things.
Denies Nazi crimes. Now, originally, Volbrecht had managed to get an emergency ruling by the Cologne Regional Court in August of 2022, which decided that the hashtag should be stopped until they could further investigate the matter. A decision that the anti-trans...
Like, all this means, I've already covered this in a different video, all this means is that there's like a legal precedent. In Australia, there's a legal precedent that you can change sex. Like, hence why the fucking tickle versus giggle thing went the way it did. It's a legal precedent. It's not the same as, like, reality, you know what I mean?
Trans crowd began presenting as a definitive victory.
She cites herself a lot. This person thinks a lot of themselves, I guess, which I guess I'm glad they do because someone has to. Yeah.
With one gender-critical writer running the headline, "Biologist Volbrecht wins in court," along with the subheading that, quote, "Berlin doctoral student Marie-Louise Volbrecht has achieved her first legal victory."
One cross-dressing prostitute died in a labour camp, not trans people plural. I can't verify that, but what I understand seems to be that trans people were lumped into other groups that were targeted.
Against trans activists. They are no longer allowed to claim that the biologist denies Nazi crimes, end quote. This was not the case, however. What was actually happening...
Why do we care to, like, say that someone's denying Nazi crimes? Like, look at the fucking... Like, who cares? It's stupid. Oh, that person technically wasn't correct about the Holocaust in this one very specific way. Who cares? This is literal fucking privilege. Anyone that has time to think about this kind of shit is kind of a bit privileged if you think about it.
Happening was the Cologne Regional Court was gathering experts, namely historians who specialized in studying the Holocaust.
Fascists, Godwin's Law, Homnum's selective reading and self-citing. Yeah, essence of thought is I don't know how to describe this person, but you're kind of getting a good feel of it, you know what I mean?
Before reaching
shit. I was trying to think, some of the stuff she comes out with is like genuinely fucking cooked. But like, she's only been doing this kind of content for a short while. Before that, it was all like drama stuff about this Rachel Oates person that she was bullying the fuck out of. By the way, 43.3k subscribers, 2.2k, 2.3k 2 weeks ago. JK Rowling shit, I guess, tends to get more views. Even then, 5.4k, 2.4k 3 months ago, 1k 3 months ago, 1.6k, 1.1k 4 months ago. Like, this is not good numbers for how many? 696. Oh my god. You see what I mean? Like, I have videos that have more, like, views than this. I'm only just coming up on, like, 800, you know what I mean? But yeah, this is, how many times does Evangelina's face appear? Once, twice, 3 times. Evangelina was the one she was bullying last. Like, Ethel Thurston fucking does not like women, it seems. Listen, I'm not being very good faith there, but, like, fuck that shit. Oh yeah, she why am I saying she still? This person, they get all the classics. Graham Linehan is a predator, outs himself as a predator. Oh, their hair was like long then and they wore like nail polish, amazing. I wonder what they looked like ages ago. Anti-trans hate on the road to genocide. There is no genocide, fuck me. Has there ever been a genocide against Riley Grace Rochon's inhuman cruelty? Oh my god. Yeah, the main thing that she really got famous for was this Lily Orchard person who was genuinely a terrible person from what I know, like genuinely evil. And like, Essence of Thought called that person out, which fair enough, you know, it's probably a good thing. And then she got into drama with Rachel Oates that took years and years. I don't know if these videos are still up, like, maybe she's buried it like a fucking cat with their own shit, you know what I mean? Oh no, here we go. Rachel Oates is a serial transphobe. Rachel Oates promotes far-right and anti-feminist figures. Let me see the playlist. Oh, they've hidden most of the videos. This person was bullying the fuck out of this Rachel Oates person for years, to the point where 4 months ago they were saying that shit. Aaron in the morning said there was a genocide and it was dangerous to leave the house as they were on vacation, so you know it's serious. Oh my god, Aaron Reed is so full of shit. Like, if I spend the rest of my life trying to convince people that people like Aaron Reed are fucking liars, then fucking so be it, honestly. I'm down with that shit, you know what I mean? Anyway.
A final decision. That's why, after listening to expert witnesses and evidence on the topic, the Cologne Regional Court overturned its original decision in November of 2022, legally ruling that Volbeck's actions could be accurately described as a denial of Nazi crimes. Of course,
yeah, we're talking about Nazi crimes. What about the BMA? There was one little thing about it, and that was it. This is fucking clickbait.
Went hypersensitive collective. That's what this article in the Statesman regarding this false narrative. It will certainly be interesting to see how gender-critical fascists react, or indeed, if they react, when the BMA publishes its findings.
One day, I'm going to have to atone for my crimes for providing this Essence of Thought person with ad revenue. That's an antisocial act, quite frankly, and I'm somewhat ashamed of myself, but anyway.
Which just leaves us one last thing we need to do, and that's debunk the most popular objection to the BMA's review of the CAS review, at least on this forum. I am, of course, referring to the idea that the BMA should just stay out of things, since it has nothing to do with wages. And indeed, it is true that the BMA is a trade union that primarily focuses on advocating on behalf of practitioners, but that is not its sole purpose. Just taking a quick look at the BMA's mission statement, specifically their vision, and we can see how it states that they hope the BMA quote.
I don't care about this. Is there anything else? Is this the whole section? I don't care. I literally don't give a shit. I literally couldn't care. Oh my god, some of these faces get me every fucking time. This is like happy mask salesman shit. Anyway.
Tavistock 16. That is the 16 children who took their own lives.
Tavistock 16, this is a conspiracy theory. At least half of them, if they took their own lives, it was for other reasons. But like, if you're trans and commit suicide, it's automatically like, I don't know, like a state hate crime or something. It's bizarre.
Following the 2021 ban on puberty blockers as a result of the now overturned Bell v Tavistock case.
This is bullshit, and these are her own videos, the source, just so we're clear.
This means that both the UK government and Hillary...
You watching a nominal Naomi video, fair enough. Jesus Christ. I don't know if I'll cover that person again, just because... I don't know. The debate bro shit is just so fucking cringe to me. Like, I've watched so much of that shit, and it's like... It's taught me... it's taught me what not to do, for sure. Like, fucking people like Vorsh, if you think about it, he's done me a service. Not only for himself, showing what not to do, but in the people he's inspired, also showing me what not to do. It's great.
Cass knew that such a
Our student drinks, it's N64 graphics, not PS1, but same era.
ban was likely to result in child death, yet have opted to go ahead and do so anyway. And whilst the doctors posting to the subreddit might not care about the deaths of children, the fact remains, many doctors do, and has subsequently been threatened by the UK government, who have made it clear that prescribing said life-saving medications to trans people is a criminal offence. The whistleblowers noted that as multiple doctors begged the UK government to have a public discussion